everyone. The HB Kapadia group of schools, in collaboration with GSTV, is presenting a very informative, educational and helpful program, Pass Thawanu Panchamrit. In this, I am Dipali Mehta and I am going to present before you my subject, Business Administration or BA. BA or Business Administration is also known as OCM, Organization of Commerce and Management. Yes, it is purely a theory subject. It has its strengths and its weaknesses. The strengths of my subject are that it is very simple and it is very easy to understand. Even a common man, when reads the subject or the textbook, is easily able to relate to the subject in his day-to-day life. For example, a person can easily relate to marketing or advertising in marketing management, or a consumer can easily relate to himself in consumer protection. As you know, the subject is very simple, it is easy to understand, it is relatable, but of course the strengths and weaknesses go hand in hand. There are certain challenges in this subject which students commonly say that the paper is not completed on time. Sometimes it is difficult to memorize the answer, sometimes it is difficult to remember the head points. But today I will give you an insight, I will be your guide and I will take you through some important tips wherein I will enhance your strengths and I will tell you how to overcome your weaknesses. Just like when you go for travel to an unknown country, the map gives you a guideline about where to go and how much time to spend. A map or a guide or a guideline is very important. You all know in Mahabharata, Duryodhana and Arjuna both had an equal chance of succeeding. But Lord Krishna was the guide for Lord Arjuna and that is why he succeeded. Over the upcoming episodes, I will be your guide for the subject Business Administration. I will not only provide you an insight into the board paper pattern and the blueprint, I will also tell you section wise what can go wrong and what can be done to make it right. Towards the conclusion, we will also see a recipe for success. Recipe is very important. Even in making a simple cup of tea, the right proportion of all the ingredients make the tea special. So I will tell you 4 ingredients at the end in which you can make a beautiful recipe and a no-fail recipe for success. So with this, let us begin with the very first part, the paper pattern for business administration. Let us start. Business Administration paper style for this academic year 21-22. As you can see, the entire paper is divided into 5 sections. In the upcoming episodes, I will go into the depth in each section. At present, we are just brushing up with the overall content of the paper. To begin with, Section A. Section A is choose the correct option from given alternatives. That is what we do at every point in our life. Life is full of choices. Here, luckily, we have only 4 choices in every MCQ. You have to make 20 choices, correct ones, and here you go. You get almost 20 marks in no time. Just imagine in a 12th standard level, for just choosing one alternative, you are getting 1 mark each. Isn't that a blessing? Here, the students have to write the correct question number. In the exam stress, I get so excited that I just go on writing the answers. Not done. I have to first select, think, and then write. Please don't go in the reverse. Many students first write and then they think. We have to overcome this weakness. We have to first think, analyze all the options, select one correct option and then write. Of course, be mindful of the time. We have to be very quick and write all these 20 MCQs. Write the correct question number, write the correct alternative and also the answer. After completing this, we have to move quickly to a new page and go to section B. Section B, 1 marker. Just for writing 1 sentence or maximum 2 sentences, again in 12th standard, you are getting 1 mark each. Wasn't this something which we did long ago in our initial years? So again it is a blessing. But read the question twice. It is very normal for me to hear something like, what is your name, rather than what do you do for a living, because what is your name is a very convenient answer. Many times students read who is the founder of scientific management rather than what is scientific management. Our mind plays games. It keeps lingering. So we need to really spend some time in understanding the question, and then again we will put a proper question number and think of 1 sentence which is going to represent the entire answer. If there is a need, I can go to the next line and write example. That would be sufficient. Now, section C. As you know, in certain games, as the level expands, as you progress, the level of the game, the degree of toughness of the game keeps on increasing. The same thing is happening here. In section A and section B, we do not have to select from many questions. We just have 30 questions and we have to write the 30 answers. But from section C, my dear friends, we have to again make a difficult choice. And that choice is selecting the right question. We have 17 questions and we have to select 13 questions from section C. What we can do is, we can roughly go through all the 17 questions, use a pencil, select the best 13 that we know and then start writing. Here we are going to take a short break. Stay in tune with me so that I can guide you along for section D and E. Welcome back after the break. Let us continue with the paper pattern of business administration. As you already know, we have completed section A, section B and section C. Now, as you know, when we play a game, when the level of the game advances, the level makes all the games more tougher. So with every level, you have to be prepared for facing tougher options. Initially, we had selected 13 out of 17 questions. In section D, we have to select the best 8 out of the 12 questions. Just go through all the questions again, all 12 questions. It is our tendency that we will just check the first 8. It could be that later on there could be an easier question. So we have to select the best of our knowledge, only 8 questions. We have to write the answers point-wise. Explanation can be done in your own words. In the Gujarat board textbook, the head points are clearly given. We need to follow those head points. If the question is about characteristics or nature, we may not keep the sequence of the point in mind. But when the question of 3 marks or 5 marks is about procedure, first recollect in your mind the entire process, all the steps, and then start writing. We cannot change the answer for procedures. Here we will write the head points, underline the head points, and then we will write the explanation. Generally, the questions will be from the exercise and all the sample papers which are already given. There is also a chance that the question here could be about explain the following statement. I would advise you to select answers where you can write points clearly. Suppose they ask you process of planning and the other option is planning and controlling are two sides of the same coin. If I would be in your place, I would have definitely selected process of planning because there is a clear answer in the textbook for this particular question. Under explain the statement, the explanation will vary from student to student and it is difficult to write paragraphs. Whereby when you see a question which is saying steps or process or features or characteristics, it is very easy to write those points and explanation in your own words. With section D, you can move to section E. That is the last section. It is cherry on the top. It is the last thing. You will instantly feel a gut of relaxation. But please be careful. The show is not over yet. We need to be extra careful in writing essay type answers. By the time you come to this section, your hand will be already paining and you will feel how much more I have to write. But you have to be alert. Visualize the day on which you are going to score very good marks and you are going to show it to your parents. And you have to start section E on a very positive note. As we always do, analyze all 6 questions, select the best 4. Please do not rush. You have to think of all the points that you are going to write. This answer of 5 marks will be around 2.5 to 3 pages. You can even extend it to more. Focus on covering all the points rather than the length of the answer. You have to cover all the points if the question is silent. If the question is very clear, write any 8 characteristics. You have to stick to 8 only. Please do not spend more time here by covering unnecessary points which are not going to give you more marks. Once you cover section E, the entire question paper will be complete. I am going to tell you a very important tip about time management. In the modern world, time is money. But for us, time is marks. There are many students who want to write a lot, but they are short of time. Today, I will give you a golden rule of time management where you can complete the entire BA paper and also spare some time for revision. Let me tell you this rule. If you are seeing section E, it is of 20 marks. I am giving you 1 full hour. Yes, 60 minutes. Means for each answer, you have 15 minutes. So that is a reasonable time because you have to write some introduction, then all the points and then conclude it well. Suppose they ask you what is planning and explain its procedure. My dear friends, you have to first introduce yourself, introduce the answer of what is planning, then write the points and then conclude. Here I am giving you 15 minutes. So in 60 minutes, you have to complete section E. For section C and section D, I am giving you 90 minutes. 90 minutes, my dear students. It is not less. If you think and write the correct question number, write all the details, you can easily complete it in 90 minutes. For the first 2 sections, wherein here you have to just write the alternative and one particular alternative, you have to select the correct answer, and here you have to write 1 sentence. You need to complete this in 20 minutes. Still, roughly 20, 90 and 60. Still, you have roughly 10 minutes. What you can do in these 10 minutes? Improve your presentation. A shabby person comes to me with a very useful product. I'm going to ignore. But sometimes a well-dressed, polite, courteous, decently dressed salesman comes to me with a useless product and I quickly buy the product. What is the difference? The presentation. So those 10 minutes, my dear children, you are going to spend on presentation. You can quickly underline the keywords, the important words. You can quickly check your paper, have a glance. Just make sure that you have written the first page of your board paper correctly and tie the paper well. With all this said and done, you can easily complete these 100-mark paper in 180 minutes and still you can score very good marks. Please do smart work. Don't just focus on one particular section and leave all the other answers. In these 15 minutes which you are giving for one answer, if you fall short of time, leave it and move ahead. After a short break, my dear friends, I will guide you through the blueprint which is issued by the government for the year 21-22. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So, as you know, we have already covered the paper pattern which gives you an idea about the overall map of what questions you are going to attempt, which questions you are going to select. Further on, I am going to show you a blueprint as per the government guidelines. Let us begin. You can see in this particular subject there are 12 chapters. As they say, ek dozen. There is 12 chapters which we have to prepare. Actually, it is not so much. When certain boards or certain other students are preparing such huge textbooks, we have only simple 12 chapters. In these 12 chapters, I will brush up through you what are the topics that are covered and which topics are most important. There are two ways of studying this particular subject. If you go chapter wise, make a time chart as per each chapter. If I would be in your place, I would have dedicated at least some time for each chapter to get an overview. I may not be knowing everything in one chapter, but please never leave an entire chapter in option. Sometimes we can just leave certain questions for option which are so difficult for us. But never make a mistake of leaving the entire chapter in option. So, you can study chapter wise. I will brush up through all the chapters. Nature and significance of management. As you can see, as per the government pattern, we have one question which is essay type in this chapter and one question of 3 markers. 3 marks and 5 marks are asked from this particular chapter, and in general small questions of 1 marker and 2 marker also. So when all types of questions are asked and it is a weightage of 10 marks, I would definitely spend more time here. Also, in a common sense, whenever students start studying a new subject, they are over enthusiastic. I believe over the entire year, you must have definitely prepared nature and significance of management very well. The upcoming chapter, Principles of Management. Many a times students say it is a very confusing chapter because there are many names. Whenever there are many things for me to buy from the grocery shop, I make a list. The same thing holds true for you. Make a list. Make a list of all the management experts here. You should know thoroughly Henry Fayol is the founder of modern management, but Frederick Winslow Taylor is the promoter of scientific management. If I have made a list of classical, neoclassical and modern economists, I will not make mistakes in selecting the right person. So my 1 marker of MCQ or my 1 marker here in one sentence becomes simple because I have a list. I can also ask here a 3 marker, which could be a short note. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, all these chapters are of management in the modern way. All these are related. We can make chapter-wise notes of all these chapters and be very confident that there are going to be questions of 5 marks of chapter number 5 and chapter number 6 because they are the lengthy chapters, very huge. What do you do when there are lengthy chapters? I will give you a tip. The Britishers gave us a very nice concept, divide and rule. Divide the entire chapter of directing into 4 different parts. One part is supervision, one is motivation, one is leadership, and the last one is communication. Here you go, an entire huge chapter cut into 4 mini chapters. Make notes of these 4 different parts of the same chapter and you are good to go. Once you complete these 7 chapters, these 2 chapters, chapter 8 and 9, are of a totally different level. Financial management and financial market. My dear students, in case you are going to pursue CA in future, this could be your base, financial management. Luckily, it also connects to accounts. It teaches you about fixed capital and working capital. It teaches you about share market. Yes, the most exciting trend of today. Even the most illiterate people are interested here. So, chapter number 8 and 9 are going to tell you about the share market, about the SEBI, the Securities Exchange Board of India, and all the rules and regulations. We need to revise these chapters very well. They are of 8 marks each. Once you are through with management and also financial management and financial market, now BA is a cakewalk. Because a very interesting chapter, chapter number 10, marketing management. It is one of the most relatable chapters for a student. We so much see lot of advertisements. We see so much of publicity. All this is marketing. Consumer is the king. That is consumer protection. These chapters are relatable in day-to-day life. You can take help from routine practical examples to enhance yourself in these 2 topics. Under the heading consumer protection, there could be one 5-mark question, and under marketing management, there could be one 5-mark question. The most likely question in marketing management for 1 mark could be about the procedure of marketing, the process of marketing. The most likely in consumer protection could be responsibilities of a consumer. Even the 3-tier system could be an important question. Get an overview of these chapters by reading the textbook once and prepare the exercise questions very well. Last but not the least, business environment. This is the 12th chapter and mostly ignored. Students get so overwhelmed by reading all these 11 that they will forget the 12th one. But we should not forget it because the weightage is not less. This question, this particular chapter is also of 8 marks. My advice to you is roughly read chapter business environment, solve all the questions from the exercise and then attempt the entire answer. Overall, if you see, we have 130 marks which are presented by the government for your option. If you select the right question, if you write in legible handwriting, no one can stop you from succeeding and getting the success that you rightly deserve. After this, we will be studying section-wise important questions and I will provide you tips for the same. Thank you.